Good morning, guys. We are getting ready to go in for a clinical day, and I figured I'd kind of just track my day and we can see how this works out. This is just a lip stain. I'm not going into my clinicals with blue lips. It's one of the Wonder Skin shades. I think it's called Lovely. It makes it so that my lips look a little bit, so I have a little bit of color on my lips all day long, even after any kind of chapstick or lip gloss has worn off, and I don't look quite so sickly and pale. So I really like this. It stays on all day. But today I am going in with another goal of 3 patients. I didn't quite make that goal the last time I talked to you, and that was for a number of reasons. Some of the patients don't want students in on their case, whether to listen and observe or definitely not to take the lead on them. That's not the norm, but it has happened a handful of times. And then the new patients I'm not taking on yet because I really want to get down how my preceptor goes through. She has a very specific way, but also you want to follow how a patient talks. So if they're going down their own rabbit hole of information, it's probably important, so you don't want to disrupt that with your questions, but you want to make sure everything's answered. And some of it's on the computer, some of it you can kind of look through and make sure you have all the information, but it's more important in psychiatry to talk to the patients than it is to do the click boxes like it is in medicine. If I do an admission in the ICU, I'm going through, well, I almost have it memorized at this point, but basically go through the click boxes. We're going to do this, home medications, vaccinations, history of medical illnesses or past medical history, and go on down the line to body systems where we start doing the assessment. And it's a little more important to just let the patient talk and listen. That's the important part. Sometimes when patients talk in the hospital, it's not all important to their medical case. It's like, yeah, then one day my grandson came and he did this and that. And sometimes you zone out a little bit. But in psych, it's way more important to get that whole story and understand where the patient's mental status is, to start putting the pieces together and to make sure they're appropriate for medication adherence and getting the full picture. So I'm still a little anxious about it. I've been a nurse for a long time, but I don't want to mess up the prescriber part of this. And it is weighing on me a little bit. So I have another goal for 3 patients. It's 6:30 in the morning. I don't have to be at the clinic till 9, but it's about an hour drive. So I like to leave here by like 7:50 at the latest, so I can grab a coffee or grab something for breakfast and listen to a podcast on my way in. So the rest of this time I'm going to use getting dressed, taking the stain off my lips so I don't go in like this, and looking up these patients. Like I said, I have access from home. I've starred a couple patients that look like they're pretty good follow-ups that should be easy to talk to and just assess at this point, and go in with a plan so I can be a little bit more confident when I talk to them. So here's to the start of the day. Let's get going. All right, I gotta make sure my bag is all packed up. I use this for work sometimes, but I also obviously use it for clinicals. So let's see. Mostly extra paper to take down notes. Don't need this. This was from an appointment. Planner, Dayquil. Okay, and then I have got my binder where I keep my intake form papers so I can quickly jot those down, and it also has my hours that I need signed at the end of every clinical shift. I'll need my laptop. Need those extra papers. And my Stall's prescriber's guide. This thing has been invaluable. It's got tips, tricks, what to try next, why things aren't working. Very helpful. You can see this gets full fast. we're in line to get coffee. That's a lie. We're in line to get a Dunkin' Energy. I haven't been in the mood for coffee, and I need a little pick-me-up. So it's 7:46. We're on time at this point. All right, so we made it early because I took a different route. The one route that I normally take is like easy breezy, straight shot, like just 2 lanes, no big deal. The route I took today, you had to like switch lanes to stay on, it's Northeast Ohio. I don't know if you had 77 North. So to stay on 77 North, you have to keep switching lanes until you get to Akron, and people are much more aggressive up here, and it's not as wonderful of a drive, but it cuts it down from like 50 minutes to like 35 minutes. And I'm pretty sure that time's invaluable. So this might have to be my new route. So I'm over a half hour early. I'm going to get my computer out and really look at these patients that we're going to see and look up their medications and get started. I'm the first one here. The doors are locked, so I'm just going to connect to my phone, I guess, and do it that way. So I forgot to record after my shift, but it went really well. I ended up seeing 2 patients instead of the 3, and that was for a combination of things. I did run into a patient who didn't want a student. We've seen a little bit of a pattern that our borderline personality patients have not wanted a student, which is a little surprising to me initially, having worked with them in a different setting. Like I might have some ideas as to why that is in the office type setting. But anyhow, it was a successful clinical day, and then I got home and I made a couple different soups for the week to try and get myself prepared. I made a zuppa toscana and a potato soup with the leftover potatoes and ingredients that I had. And then after that, I tried getting my workouts in. I work with a trainer through the Trainwell company, and I have workouts scheduled 6 days a week, but it's really hard to fit in right now with my schedule, so I do my best to get it done, but I could definitely feel at this workout that I don't quite have the stamina that I was building up initially. But he loves to get attention whenever he's able. He knows when I'm vulnerable, and he comes and he finds me. This was a full body day, so a little bit of arms, a little bit of legs, a little bit of cardio. We incorporated a little bit of everything into this workout. My quads were on fire for 2 days after this. I need to get back in the swing of it. These are noise cancellation headphones, so I feel so bad for anybody who might be in my house when I'm working out because I am singing, it is loud, it's probably bad, and I'm making some ridiculous faces, so I apologize. Gotta focus on that good stretch, and we are almost done with this. And then I go on to torture myself a little bit more by taking care of, it was a full spa day, a full take care of yourself type day. We did a workout, we cooked dinner for the week, I waxed my armpits, took a nice shower, exfoliated, did the whole 9 yards. I'm set for the rest of the week. Here's that torture I was talking about. It's really not that bad, and I love seeing all the hairs on the little piece of wax at the end of it. I've become addicted to just that part of it, I think. This one didn't come off quite as smooth. This isn't my favorite wax. I like the company, but I tried their cream wax instead of their film wax like I normally get, and I probably wouldn't go back to the cream wax. My Tuesday clinical look, another great shift. I have been learning a ton at this clinical site. And now it's time to actually make a little bit of money at my state psych job while I have the time in the week before starting clinicals early next week again. And then when I get off work, I take the dogs for a walk. So hopefully I can tire them out a little bit so I can get a little sleep during the day. And that's it for the week. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.